Are your dirt bike forks leaking oil or not performing like they used to be? Or do you even know how long it's been since you've serviced your forks and redone the seals and put in some fresh oil? So we're going to go through today on how to do a almost complete rebuild. I didn't touch the cartridge in it, but I replaced seals, dust caps, and I went and refreshed the oil. So it's an exciting video today. The first part of the video, just to show the normal person, I've never done fork seals before, so I just wanted to show the challenges I went through and the mistakes that I made. So the first part of the video is the first fork I did, and it was a very good learning curve. You know, the first one took me, I don't know, an hour or two to go through and to search the manual and to find information I needed to know to get it finished, even though I'd watched videos and thought I had a pretty good understanding. And then the second part of the video will be me doing the second fork, which I'm gonna probably took me 30 minutes. With even it's crazy once you kind of get the hang of it and figure out how to do it. It was much easier. So stick around. I'll try to put a break in there or something so you can see once I get to the second fork. I kind of explain a little better and it flows a lot better, but I thought it might be interesting to some and kind of funny to kind of see my struggles and kind of where I hit some hangups at on this first fork. So hopefully you enjoy the video. You know, fork seals, it's something I think a lot of people get intimidated about, and something that is kind of a mystery and kind of a black box. But after going through it, you know, it really wasn't too bad. I would rate it probably on a scale of 1 to 10. I'd probably give it a 6, maybe a 5 or 6 on a difficulty rating. You know, you just got to take your time. You gotta, it's just following the process and following the steps to go through and do it. There's nothing magical or very difficult, or, you know, it's not that big a deal. It's kind of messy. I did get a lot of oil kind of everywhere. I wasn't expecting that, but it's not a huge thing. Don't be intimidated by it. Don't be afraid to try it yourself. As I go through the video, you'll see that I got impatient. I did not wait. I ordered a seal driver from Amazon and it got delayed. So I tried the 2-inch PVC pipe method. Don't be like me. I would take your time. I would get a seal driver. That was probably the number one thing. You know, and I've got this cup that I use for premix oil that I use to measure, because you really need a pretty good precise measurement on your oil capacity or oil volume. So like I said, I didn't touch the cartridge. I just did I replaced the seals and I replaced the oil. Maybe this winter, I don't know, sometime I'll dive into the cartridges, but I was just trying to, I had a leaking, my left fork was leaking, and so I wanted to get it replaced. I think I showed in one of the videos that the seal actually had a big chunk missing out of it, and you know, I tried the seal doctor a couple times, didn't have any luck. So anyways, there we go. What caught my attention on this bike was that the brakes, they're not spongy, but the front brake got to where it wouldn't grab and it would really push through the corners, and it wasn't working very good. And so I got to looking, and I've got it cleaned up now, but my caliper, or not my caliper, my caliper was completely covered in grime and oil. I guess just from a lot of hours of riding and having the oil spray back on it. And you know, I had a lot, you can see the grime in there. And another thing to check is after you clean the bike, wipe down your fork, wipe down your stanchions. See, if you can see it on the camera, I've got that oil that's standing right there. So that's a good sign they're leaking. So like I said, I've never done this before. I'm going to go through, try to walk through the process. It may take me a couple tries. You know, I've got a few hours tonight, so I'm going to at least try to get the forks off the bike. I got to take the tire off, the brakes off. So let's go through that and let's see how far we get, and we'll go from there. So thanks for watching, and we'll get into it. Alright, so like I said previously, I've never done this before. I've watched a couple of YouTube videos. I've got the service manual on my iPad I can look at, but basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by taking off these fork guards, taking off the brakes, taking off the front tire, and I know we need to crack the, I don't know what it's called, the tube nut on top. We need to crack it open while it's still in the triple clamps. So let's get started.
So this first part is not extremely exciting, but this process. Wrench to get that back one. That's the coffee can. Uh-oh. I did not put my tools back. I think I took it right there. So these bolts are 8mm bolts. Be careful with these, you're not stripping them out. And I think these are 10. I'll take those off. I got it hooked on here. Let's hold it a little better.
So it was really weird with this bike. I've never had a fork seal leak before. I had a hunch that's what was going on, but it was weird because this caliper was covered in oil, and I couldn't figure out where it was coming from. And I thought at first maybe it was my caliper that was leaking, but I never lost pressure on the lever. It never got soft, and you know that's kind of most of the time I think if you got a brake leak, you're going to lose pressure on the caliper. And then after I'd wash it, I would wipe down my stanchions, and then the next morning or after, I'd go right around the neighborhood, and I had oil rings on it. So the first thing I did was I took these dust seals off, get a little slot screwdriver, very carefully put it in there. You can slide that right there's a dust seal. Slide it down. I've got one of those seal doctors, I think that's what they're called, and tried cleaning it up. I've done it 2 or 3 times, and I got some stuff out, but not a ton. So I did that 2 or 3 times, and I still, the fork stanchion would still get wet, so I assumed it's probably time for fork seals. So I've ordered seals, dust seal, oil. Hopefully I got everything I need. I did have to order a fork wrench because I did not have one big enough, and I'm hoping I ordered this wrench 50mm, but I don't have the clearance on here. So I'm going to take this front tire off, drop that down a little bit in that triple clamp, picking up around here, but out of room in my garage, piling stuff in here. That's probably frowned upon too, but I'm gonna use a little Viscous. Just gotta be careful not to score this thing. I just had it off and greased it. Okay, you wanna be careful on these too. That's your speed sensor, so we'll get that out of the way. I just had this thing apart, I don't know, a month ago, I think. Checking the wheel bearings, so still got a nice little bit of grease on there. That's always a good sign. Alright, so let's loosen so now I'm going to loosen these up and try to slide this. I don't know what I'm going to do. Let's loosen up and slide them down. I just have to put this thing in a vise to get the cap off. I'm not sure yet. I don't have enough clearance for this wrench I got. Alright, so I've loosened up the bolts on this triple clamp, and these dudes are still really tight. I'm going to take the bolts all the way out. I don't know if that's what you have to do or not. But it's not, they're still tight. I think it holds some headlight on, so that might come loose too. We'll find out here in a second. Where about mine? Those things just come loose, but this bad boy. So actually, I took this thing out a couple days ago to the trail I usually ride my YZ on, and I'm going to take the screwdriver and just very lightly and easily pry in there And we're going to do the same thing up here so we can get them to loosen up a little bit. Yeah, the thing's not moving. It should be. I don't think it's got anything else holding it. Just real careful with these so we don't tear up the threads or anything. There we go. It feels a little bit looser now. Golly. Ow. Don't do that. Smash my freaking fingers.
I don't mind, it slid right up, but mine did not slide right up. Got a little plastic piece in there. Something. There we go. You know what I want to do though. Everybody says you need to loosen that up. I don't think that one's holding.
Axle with a tube nut. This is the real world YouTube. This is an amateur who's never done this before trying to get this out of here. Every video I watched, they all fell right out. Okay, that's not gonna work. Scratch it up. There we go. There it is, folks. We are successful. Okay, now I would say the easy part is over. So I'm gonna look at my service manual. Remember, I'm not gonna take this off. Put it in the vise, take that off. I'm gonna get some stuff moved around so I get on the bench, and I'll be right back. Alright. Like I started to say earlier, I took this thing out and rode some pretty good. It's a double track here in Arkansas on some trails I've been riding the YZ on, and yeah, I wasn't quite as fast, but it was pretty darn good. Had a good time. It really rode good. Kind of late to the game with dirt bikes and stuff, but I'm really impressed with this thing. Really, there we go. Really good. There's part of it. That's interesting. So somehow we'll take this bottom. I don't know if that's where the oil comes out. There it is. Okay. There's the oil coming out. Oh, that's my feet. Alright. So somehow, I do not really recall how. Let's get this piece off here. Dang. Oh, you know what? Take that nut out. Alright, so it's got a nut right there. I think that's what people have to have an impact. See all the grime on that thing? It's nasty. So, I promise and I hope the second fork removal will be much easier. I'm hopeful. That's the bottom. Alright, so I got this thing. So I'm going to pop this dust seal off. That's nasty, baby. Man. Let's dry that. I know it's got a seal added. It's got a tanning clip in it somewhere, I think. There it is. Nice, it's got a little retaining clip in here. One of the other things, gotta be careful of retaining clip. So I took the dust seal off and pulled this retaining clip off. This thing has to come off somehow. I think I forgot what I was doing wrong. So I need to take this thing off right here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10. 11 clicks out. And the soft grips, whatever you call it, are not holding it very well. Let's get this thing in here a little better. Alright. A little bit bigger handle on here. A little bigger ratchet. Take the extension off if you're doing something up torque. There we go. That's what I'm taking off. Nut right here. Thanks. Once I get this loose, it's got a little grime in it. That's the thing. Set it down. This is where I made. Okay. So I gotta be improvise here. Gotta find something. Stick it in, hold that, and I'll loosen it. That'll work. Alright, give me 1 second to find something sticking in. Alright, so it's probably the best use case, but I've got a cresser wrench in there to hold that open. So I think put a box and wrench on there. Can I see that? Alright, so let's get a big 15. It looks like you hold that. Good. Yeah. Okay, so that just came loose. That's not looking good. I should have got the right tools. Okay. See the action. Sure. Okay. So I got this rebound rod loose. I don't know what's supposed to come out here and what's not, but it's coming out. Alright. It's a very messy job, by the way. Okay, so we've got this, came out of there. It's my cartridge and my spring. There's that housing. I think this is where I said you kind of just slide hammer it out. There it is, folks. Take these off. So take that off. Maybe bad news, that bushing, I think it looks real good. Push up there. There's that old seal that was leaking. So most of these seals, you know, it's an oil seal, so it's got, yep, look at that tear right there. Good lord. I don't think I did that either, so no wonder that thing was leaking. So you got some pliable, flexible rubber right here that rides on your stanchion. You know, every time it comes up, it wipes the oil back up, but if I'm missing that chunk, I guess it's gone. No wonder it was leaking. You got this dust cap, keep the dust out. So, alright, so I'm going to clean this up. I'm going to do some more research on this bushing. You can see the color now. I don't know, it looks bad, but we'll see. And let me get my hands wiped off, and we will keep going with it. So, hang tight for just a second. Okay, so I know we need to put our dust seal, and these open. Dust seal goes on first. It's very important we put them on the right order, because it's very easy to tear one of these up when you put it on the wrong way. I have to take it off, put it on again. So pay attention. It's got some multi-purpose grease. Not too much in there. So the outer tubing goes out here. Those don't look close to fitting, right? That's great. There we go. Turn that up. Here's the main event. I guess you're supposed to, so I'm not real sure. Oh, much smoother. So yeah, if you nick that seal or tear it up, put it on there. Yeah, we're gonna be doing this again real soon because it'll be leaking. So let's cross our fingers that it didn't mess anything up with that. Pretty excited. I kind of have a good feel now. I'll do this seal replacement. So I think you just go backwards now. Put back together. Okay, so what I've done now, I got our seals on, I got our dust seal on. I put the spacer, backer spacer, bushing, this top bushing in. So now I think I'm ready. Trying to make a homemade seal driver. She'll probably wait. But I'm being impatient. I'm gonna wait on Amazon. I keep losing my order. Oh, that'll be perfect. Okay. Let's go set up. I'm gonna get a file and clean these edges down, smooth them out, and then we'll try to get back together and see what happens. So I'll be right back. I think what I read is you just want to take that sharp edge off. So I'm just going to file it down, sandpaper, clean it up. Obviously, I'd recommend for a seal driver, but it's the weekend. I'm ready to go ride. It's either make it or break it, I guess. If I tear up the seals, I know I'm out. If I don't, I'm good. Alright, so what I did on that edge, kind of filed down that edge. That's the edge that it's the edge that's going to sit on that seal on that fork and drive it in. So I cleaned it up. So okay, $6 for a 2-foot piece of PVC pipe. Highway robbery. So I'm going to put a little bit of oil on this seal. Fork oil. A little oil around that seal before we start driving it in there, just to help lubricate it. Keep things as smooth as possible. Alright, so I've got fork seal, backing spacer I think, and then a bushing, another bushing up here. Back in there. Okay, so you see it sits in there pretty easy. So I think what I'm gonna do, see me. Let's put in our jack, our vise. I can't talk tonight. Vise. Well, I'm gonna get a hammer. I know the seal drivers, you can just kind of. Yeah, this may not work. It's a little bit wide. I might have to shave that down some more. That's close though, but it's just a hair too big. Huh, okay. Well, I'm going to reposition this. I'm going to lay this more flat so it doesn't keep on to fall down on me. I think I'm doing something. I don't know if that's even the right seal. Alright, I'm hot, but I'm excited. Got the first fork done. Wasn't too bad. I would recommend a fork seal driver. I used my PVC and it just wasn't as good. But, got it done. Got the second one pulled off. Let's get into it. Let's get it apart. Hopefully I learned something with that first one. Alright, so we're going to take I couldn't get to these in the triple clamp, so we're going to take this cap off. I'm going to do that last. Maybe I've not learned as much as I thought. I thought I just put it in the vise last time. There we go. We'll curve it with a hammer. Uh-oh. There's the line. Just swarm. Yep, okay. Take this cap off. It's paranoid, something shooting off. Spray or something. So the last one, you know, it was a little bit of a struggle getting through it. This one I feel a lot better about. Alright, so we got the cap loose. So now we're going to put it in the oil pan and dump out the oil. That oil does not look too bad. Definitely seen worse. I just changed the oil on that Honda 230 and it must be running a little rich. A little gas smell. I don't know how long it's been since it's been changed. I don't think it's been maintained very well. Smell a little gassy. Alright, so we're going to take this lower rebound screw and back it all the way out. And then can't get this up there in the vise. Okay, so back that screw out. Oh yeah, this is the one. Alright, so keep that oil pan underneath there. Tell you what, this thing, I know it's probably the best idea, but I'll get this one knocked out. It's super hot out here tonight. The heat wave is here. Alright, so you loosen this bottom. You know what I didn't do? Kind of this crap out of here so it doesn't fall in. Try to get this dirt and mud and stuff out of here as best you can, so it doesn't fall down in the fork itself. So then, as you're loosening that, you'll eventually feel it where it just kind of lets go. You hear it clicking because it's at the end of its threads. Okay. So now I'm gonna put down a towel, an old rag or something. Alright, so this is another improvised tool. Ow! Don't get your fingers. We're good. So I've just been using a crescent wrench. It's probably frowned upon. Box in the wrench. I'll tell you what. I did this one before to follow the specs. Going off there. Dampening mode, I believe. That in a safe place. Got my finger in it. I'll be careful. Okay. This, I believe. Oh, this thing's screwed. Gosh. Okay. A lot more. Yeah, I'm ready now. Okay. We're gonna take that. I got a little bit of gold. Got it out of there. Alright. Take that little seal clip out of there. Slow down, take my time. Alright, so spin around till we see. This is probably time I should call it quits. But a little bit more. So, as you can see, I was demonstrating how good the clip holds these seals in there. Remember, we want to be pretty careful, real careful with this this chrome finish. This stanchion. Clip. This is a messy job. Yeah. I've got oil everywhere. Luckily I've got the epoxy floor. I'll wipe it up. It's been very messy. Alright, so we're going to take off. You know what? Let's see here. Oh no, I don't really think that oil. That's my first time to do a fork. Forks. I don't think that oil looked that bad. It doesn't smell, it doesn't look old. I think this thing was maintained pretty well. I think those bushings look okay. So the inside the Teflon be wearing off, but enough for me. For tonight at least. Alright, let's put the seal on. Now this was the side that wasn't leaking. Yeah, it's got a little tear up there. I don't know if that's for me or if it was like that. But I don't know. It was dirty, but I don't think the seal's leaking that bad. Alright. Remember, one time, guys. Dust boot and the seal. Wherever the seal may be. Put a little bit of grease around here. Clean all that other grease off that other fork. It's not be there. I know some people wrap them and do different stuff, but red racing grease. Just fix stuff there. It's funny, this dust boot seal is actually tight. It's tighter to put on than the other seal. Come on, baby. Come on, come on, come on. On there. I found some other seal out there. Nope. I was going. There's the other seal. Okay. Same deal. I guess you probably could use oil too. Fork a little bit. Oh well. Alright, remember, this has to seal around this. You gotta be very careful putting it on. Slowly rotate it. Okay. Instead of slowly rotate it, I put it on, look, I'm popping it on, it does. This is way worse. Alright. Now I'm going to do use my PVC pipe to put this seal on. I know some people are going to cringe at me, but it is what it is. What did we forget? What to do tonight? I'm going to work on your fork tonight. Reaming position. Getting back on the grease. There she is. Our slacker. This is my ghetto setup here. Good work. Got the other one in. Just get a look at this bad boy. So what you want to do on these seals, you want to make sure you're driving them evenly. So I know it doesn't look like it. I'm trying to squeeze this, and I'm trying to. That's why you don't want to tap it on each side. Each side separately. Okay, you see how it's kind of going in uneven? So we want to keep that even. So rotate those around. Still want to be a little difficult. Even else is dust though. Dust in there, no surface. Getting closer. Definitely getting closer. And in the oil goes my. Tell you what, it's just been one of those nights. We're close. Gotta get the seal put in. Not tear it up. That way we can take a victory ride, probably in the morning. See how good they do. I'm excited to ride with these new seals. This PVC pipe I did. Probably just the operator. I think it's a good idea for me from the get-go. I think guys taped these, and the other four guys getting ready to tape them, and I got it to go in. So it's close. There's just one. Seal. Yep. Okay. Says it just came out. That's okay. Oh, I forgot to do that. I kind of slammed it in there last time. That little number. Close. There we go. Okay, so a little seal tool all the way in the fork. Hey. Tony, I think after you do this a couple times and have a seal driver, it's not gonna be bad. Okay, you see how it's kind of going in uneven? So we want to keep that even. I think I got that in there far enough. It's got to get that. We gotta have that groove and we're gonna have that groove to get that clip in there. I think I see the groove. I jokingly, when I bought this vise a few months ago, told my wife I needed it because I did a fork job. And it has been pretty nice tonight. Alright, so here's what I'm looking at. If you can see that or not. So you got that groove for that retaining clip. And so what I've done is I went all the way around it and I made sure it was in that groove all the way around. It's got so that's really the worst part of this whole deal here. Just boom on. Off it off. Clean, baby. It's gonna ride like a new one. I'm excited. Yep. I don't do that yet. Okay. So I'll put this thing back in the cartridge and the spring. Not a big wrencher, if you're not super into it, not a bad job. It's a fun learning experience. I would say, kind of make sure you watch a couple videos, have a good idea. I got kind of hung up on my first one, so I didn't watch enough videos. There's a lot of, I think most of the fork rebuilds are pretty similar. There are some differences in forks. So I'm putting 330 back in here. I've got this sweet little funnel cup for my other bike, for my two-stroke to mix it. Oh, I told me about 2 things of oil. I guess if you're doing your cartridge, you have to have more oil. It's crazy, this oil's like clear. It's 330. Just gonna make more of a mess. Alright, so let's see what I'm gonna do. Next time, clean the garage up before I start on a project. So I'm just going to pour this real slowly against that. Just running down that center piece into the fork. Yeah, this really hadn't been too bad of an experience. Like I said, I think a seal driver is definitely worth the 20 bucks. I ordered one. Amazon was supposed to deliver it yesterday and they lost it. They're supposed to deliver it today and they lost it. So I got impatient because it's a holiday weekend. I wanted to go out and ride a little bit, and it won't deliver till Sunday. So I went and got the 2-inch schedule 40 PVC pipe. It worked okay. I wouldn't do it again. I'm optimistic my seals won't leak, but I wouldn't be shocked if they start leaking. I don't think I hammered on and beat on too hard, so you know, maybe I'll be okay. But that's what you get for being antsy. Alright. I'm just really curious. You know, I redid the linkage, or greased the linkage on this YZ. One of the bushings was seized. Man, after I re-greased, or after I had to replace the linkage because the bearings getting in there. Nope. Had a little issue with that, put new bearings in it. Man, talk about a job. Linkage bearings were no joke. Anyways, once I got it fixed, there's some oil left. Once I get it fixed up, man, it rode totally different. Super sweet. It was super chattery. On chunky, rocky stuff, you got a lot of chatter. Man, after fixing that linkage up and greasing it, rode like a different bike. Buttery smooth. It was crazy, but that front, I think it was my front linkage bearing and bushing was completely rusty, completely seized. So it wasn't moving at all, so you know, it makes sense. Alright, we're gonna torque this thing down tight. Yep. More. Okay. Alright, so that's basically what I did. You know, we fixed the seal, we changed the oil, put it back together. I didn't mess with the cartridge. And I'll see what happens. It was, you know, the oil's pretty clean, the fork's pretty clean. The left side of it was blown out, so that's how I want to go ahead and replace them. And everybody in the line says do both of them at the same time, so that's what we did. Let's get it put back on the bike and let's check it out. I'll tell you what, it's like a skating rink in here. Sandals all greasy, everything's all greasy. I think it's worth the grease and the trouble, but yeah. I'll pump try this out. Let's go back in the old. I don't know how these guys make these triple caps look so easy. These forks there. These things been giving me fits. The bike's gonna fall off the stand. One more end falling off. Bike's operator air. And I get to put on my uncontaminated brake pads, which I'm super pumped about. So I don't have to run and work on a bike that's got some contaminated oily brake pads. time. Yeah, I'm surprised. I'm not super surprised, but I'm surprised how much easier that second one went together. I'm ready to forget it now. So I'll find out in a few minutes. So these triple clamps, I'm snugging them up. I'm always taking my tire on. This bike stand is just kind of sketchy. So, that's that. Hoping got some YZ. Shoot, I don't know where they're at. Hopefully this YZ pads will fit this bike. Putting everything back together. Let's put these. Oh yeah, let's put these in first. Maybe these sport guards. Let's put the on it. I'll put this brake in the holder. axle tightening tool. Turn that thing the wrong way. Alright, so I'm gonna get that. It's snug. I'll come back to it. Brake caliper action going on. So if I get lucky, look like those pads are kind of. Sometimes you get lucky and kind of open them up very gently with a screwdriver. Most of the time, probably gonna have to pull the axle or pull the reservoir cap off. I'm not too concerned about these pads because they're going in the trash after I get new ones because they're very contaminated with oil. Come on now. Tighten it a little bit. So sometimes you want to spin that rotor. This time be nice to it's crazy, this thing should not. It shouldn't close back up. There it is. Come on now. So I'm thinking right now what I need to do after I get this thing back off this stand. I need to go back, axle nut, triple clamps, pinch bolts. Oop. Look at this little beauty. So I'm pretty mechanically inclined. I do a lot of my own stuff. I would rate fork seals as probably a 5 or 6 out of 10. Messy, not that big a deal. Something I think buy the right tools, and you know, even if you're not a wrench turner, buy the right tools. Try it yourself. See what you think. Yeah, it wasn't that bad. The only thing really to mess up on is the process of it, or the seals themselves putting them on. I know there's a lot of videos and a lot of talk about that. I don't know, mine may be leaking tomorrow, but those dudes popped right on. One other thing I need to do real quick too is I'm going to oil my chain because I went out on the road, washed it, and oil yet, so I'm going to do that.